Hello everybody, Frankie Day here. Okay fellas, hope everybody is enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. And I just got off work about an hour ago. And I went working on Isabella right now. And I'm getting the yards all done. And the running rigging attached. And so the running rigging goes very, very fast on a Spanish galleon. Don't take long. And I knocked off shift's work for the day on it. I worked on it a little bit this afternoon before I went to work. And just got off the job, worked about another half an hour on it. And so I'm going to knock off shift's work and resume tomorrow. Before we show the update build report progress done on it, I got all the yards on the foremast all rigged up, all ready to go. And I made the rope coils on the belaying benches from the following line that was used for the working of the running rigging on the foremast. I even got the spirit sail rigged up. And tomorrow I'll attach the mast and rig same on the mainmast. And on the mizzen mast, the Spencer mast, I'll attach the Spencer yards on those. And so waiting for the sails. The sails look like it's gonna come on last. If I should get my sails probably one day next week, I can have this thing done by a week from right now, or perhaps even sooner. Depends on how soon my sails will come in. If I should get my sails probably this Monday or Tuesday, right after Memorial Day, I could have this thing done by Friday. Like I say, there's not that much running rigging on the Isabella. I think it's more of the standing rigging than there is the running rigging. And all the running rigging on this ship, on this vessel here, is working rigging as done on the real vessel. And as I bring the video over to the Isabella, you'll notice that there's some blocks on there that have been rigged. They can be laid idle until I get my sails. Those are the blocks that need the tackle that it's needed to use to rig the sails. So therefore they are left dangling until the sails. I'll go ahead and rig up the clew lines and bunt lines and hook up the halyards up to the mainmast and foremast and mizzenmast and Spencer mast. And I'm adding rope coils as I go along at the same time. So far she's looking like a Spanish galleon. I'm very, very pleased with this thing. It came out better than I hoped it would. Although I was fighting tooth and nail over the dryness of the wood, and I'm glad I didn't scuttle this kit when I first built the hull of the formers and the keel sections. And when all that cracking of that wood starting to crack on me, and stuff, oh boy, you know. So I saved it and I brought it back to life using polyurethane. That's a saver right there, and it works for me. All the running rigging and the standing rigging hasn't been shellacked. The only thing I shellacked was the rat lines and the shrouds. They were shellacked on there. Everything else is just pretty well natural dry rigging on there. Caked with beeswax. Like I say, guys, it's always important you get beeswax. You go to Hobby Lobby, and they got a brick of that stuff you can get. I think it's about $7 or $8. It's about the size of a conventional masonry brick. 4 inches by 9 inches long. And believe you me, that thing will last you more than 2 or 3 lifetimes. This right here, this little blob right here, I just chipped out that block of beeswax I got, will probably last me the rest of my years. What's left of my years before I leave this planet. So there's plenty more there to use. Okay guys, let's chat right now. I'm going to go over and swing over and take a look at Isabella. And I'll walk around with the build, the construction, what I've done on it thus far for the last video of 16. So this is video 17 right here. And we're going to come over and take a look at Isabella. Okay guys, there she is right there in her entirety. You can see where I have all the spirit sail. I got all the rigging on there. And as you look on the Namus, you can see how I got all the yards rigged up. This is old English rigging they used back in those days, guys. They didn't have no lifts back in the era back in the 19th century or the very late 18th century. They were starting to go into ironworks. They use iron bands and things like that also for your stirrups, all your foot ropes and things like that is used. There's no iron on a Spanish galleon because it didn't come to view at the time. So a lot of the yard works on clipper ships, they used a lot of, they had lifts and halyards. Only thing, these things, they had jeers. Okay guys, we're going to come in a little closer. The reason why I backed off the camera a little bit so you guys get an overall perspective of Isabella, how she looks. And we're going to come in just a little bit here and take a look at the rigging on here. This is the 4 mainmast yard, and these are called jeers. They work like halyards right here. And these little lines right here, this right here is laying aloft here. This is your sail lines. And right underneath here, you can see where the blocks are tied on there. These go for the sail lines. So these got to be rigged last when I apply the sails. So that's why if you see these blocks laying idle like that, they haven't been completed yet. It's because I haven't got the sails on there yet. But the basic running rigging is done on this mast. For instance, we'll take a look at the foretop royal yard on the foremast. You can see the bracing blocks on here used on the end here. And you can see the clue lines where the blocks are rigged for the sails. And you know those little beads I showed you guys? Those beads I bought down there at Hobby Lobby? I use them as pearls. And if Isabella will cooperate with me, if I can swing around, not knocking something over here in this tight corners I got here, we'll take a look at these pearls right here. And we'll go a little closer. Those beads right there, fellas, you can see those pearls right there put on there. These are pearls. They're like rollers. The same thing that's achieved on this model as used on the real vessel. Because instead of lashing down a manila hemp line around your yard, around your mainmast, as long as there's a slack going back and forth, you wear out your rope. So the best thing to do to get better traction and ease of raising and lowering your yards, they'll fix them with these pearls right here. And the same thing on the royal mast too as well. I've got pearls there too. You can see them there. Even on the top yard, got pearls there too. You can see all the rigging's done on this thing, guys. A lot of rigging. See all the foot ropes on there, I mean all the rope coils made on there. And it's going quite nicely, guys. I mean, Isabella's come out real nice. I'm very pleased with this ship. I put a lot of work in this thing, guys. I worked on this bad girl for 2 months straight, every day. Hours in and hours out. But I should get this thing done one day next week. This is a 2.5 month build. And I'm very pleased with Isabella. This is a very pretty Spanish galleon. And like I say, building boats, they have some make wonderful kits, guys. They're really nice kits. they were actually, the way I look at it, I built a lot of models my lifetime, and I built when it comes to the form of construction, I believe Billings was probably the first plank and frame construction model company that there was, that ever came out. And like all their kits was plank and frame. Most of the kits that are domestic use, that we are domestic made, I should say, produced, like Blue Jacket, Bliss Marine, Ideal, Stonebreaker, Blue Jacket, Model Shipways, Marine Model Company, Ringo, Marks, Comet, Grillos, Monogram, all these companies that were domestic companies made all these kits that were produced in the United States of America that were shipped all over. Now, these were all solid hulls. All they require is carving using templates and removing the nuts from the duplicator when they duplicate the hulls. They always leave a little, like a part of the lathe, you know, when they hook up to the duplicator when they use the master hull, and they form the other one by using the special machine, the carving tool. And all you gotta do is sand that out and use templates, and you got a perfect hull. But these things here are plank and frame. So in my book, the way I look at it is I believe that Elner Billings of Denmark were the first model company that offered plank and frame construction throughout the modeling world. Because you're building a ship exactly how the real one's built. And this kit here is a very difficult kit to build. I wouldn't recommend this for a novice or for anybody who wants to go out there and build something like this. I have no knowledge of building what you're dealing with. And even if this was a fresh kit, you'd still run a difficulty if you don't have the skills to build this. And I don't know what rating of this ship is, basic, either it's elementary or basic or advanced. But I believe this thing is probably an advanced design. And if they're built right, they look good, guys. They really do. They come out quite well. I'm quite pleased with this Isabella. She came out better than I hoped that I have hoped. And so tomorrow I'll be rigging up all the yards of the mainmast, have them all done. I got 2 aft on the Spencer mast, and she's about done. I get the sails, rig the sails up, and it'll be about done. The seamstress, the lady that her name is, I forget what her name was, but she Holly is her name, yes, Holly. And it's called Design Stitches. She called me up yesterday and says, your sails are almost done. So she asked me a question on the sails. She says, what's all these lines going on here? I said, those are called clue lines. And I told her, take your sewing machine, just run a stitch off this line. Just follow that line. Just run a stitch. Those are representations of clue lines. I says, make sure you make the hem on the corners, the hem on the bottom and the side. Just follow the pattern. It's all there. It's all there. So she got it right. And so hopefully by this Monday or Tuesday I should get my sails, Isabella, and I can definitely have it finished by this Friday. And I'll hop on the Norski Love. And I got a special treat coming this way too. Okay guys, we'll swing this camera around right now and let Isabella dry for the night because she's getting tired. I gave her another fresh coat of varnish on the yards after I had them all done. And I let them dry, and I'm going to sit back and tell you guys what old Frankie Day did. I got to thank him, you know, as I was through the internet just watching stuff on there, and this was one special vessel really struck up my spark and got my interest. And it was an 1898 Portland steamer. It was an ocean-going coastal steamer that was lost during the Portland gale of 1898. And we had Captain Hollis Blanchard was the captain on the Portland steamer. And of course, the same thing was like that of the blizzards that they had back in 1970. I think 75, or I think it was 1975 is when the Edmund Fitzgerald went down, and the Great Lakes, when you had two volatile air mixtures coming in. We had two different air masses coming in, and they really got things shaking, rattling, and rolling, you know. So same thing applied off of the coast of Cape Ann, off of the east coast up there by Maine, and also through Massachusetts and all through there. And there was a really freak storm came out. Again, another volatile air combination came in and disturbed the ocean. And like I say, guys, steamships and steamboats of that type, they weren't designed for deep ocean operation, even foul weather amidst. And so she was overwhelmed by the rolling seas. And like I say, she's with the upper works of the walking beam, which operates the side paddle wheels. All that water got inside there. It killed the boiler system. She had no power. The same thing had happened to the SS Central America when it too got involved in a big storm, and the engines got flooded out, and the boilers got shut down, and the ship was left dead in the water, and it foundered and sunk. That's the same thing happened to the Portland steamer. So I got a thanking. I went to Blue Jacket Ship Crafters, and I looked through their catalog, and there's the Portland steamer right there. They got $620. That's a lot of money. And I got three checks. I got 3 pensions coming in. I got 2 pensions coming in, and plus my Social Security. And so I discussed it with my wife. It would be okay if I go ahead and get nuts and spend a few dollars. And she says, go ahead and do it, Frank. If it makes you happy and you want something like that, go ahead. I can't see why. You always make sure you take care of your priorities first before you buy anything, which I always do. That's the way I was raised, fellas, you know. Like my mom and dad always told me, always make sure everything, most important things are done first, get them out of the way. Then what's left, go shoot the wad. So I shot the wad this time. 620 dead presidents. So they got my money order in, a postal money order I sent to them. I always deal with cash. I don't full credit cards, guys. They get you in trouble. A lot of people out there don't understand how much trouble they're going to get into. All it takes is for an economic collapse or a job loss, and your cards are done, and you're in trouble. So that's one headache I don't want to get into. So I always pay cash, and I have everything. I don't owe nobody nothing. And that's the way I like. That's the way I wants it. That's the way old Frankie Day likes it. Cash on a barrel, no problems later. Okay, guys, this is enough of that chatter right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video number 17 on the Isabella. I'll have video 18 will come up when I have this. Have all the yards on, all rigged up like I did in the Foremast, and also the 2 Spencer yards on the mizzenmast and also the Spencer mast. I'll make sure that all those are all rigged up first, and when they're all done, I'll start the bracing. I shall have another video of this by Tuesday. This Tuesday be video 18, and video 19 will be the final reveal. So I came